Hey everyone and welcome back. Now it's time for Android. Let's go to our Android repository, which is Android Simple Video Call. If you want to review what's happening, you can follow this video. Otherwise, you can simply just go to call notification branch and run the application and ta-da, everything works. So right here, I'm going to download the source, which I have done before. I'm going to start with adding the requirements of FCM for Android. So let's go to the project call notification that I have set up on my backend side before. Remember, the project has to be same for every client. So if you set it for your backend, this one has to be also for your front clients. Let's go to project settings. If you remember, we could add the server panel requirements like the key and setups here. But for the other clients like Android or iOS, you can simply go here and there is a button that shows the Android and iOS, something like this. You simply want to add the Android button and then copy and paste your package name, which mine is com.CodeWithKael.simplecall. I'm just gonna add something like this, register app, and download the Google service file. And it also shows you how to paste this one. You have to go inside your project level and inside the app and simply just paste it here inside the app folder. And after adding this and adding libraries, which I'll use the TOML version to my project in a second, you set everything up. So I have done this one before and my Google service file is ready to download. Let's jump to the code and add the dependencies to my projects. So at the time that I'm using the Firebase-bom is this version. For the libraries, I'm going to need to add Firebase-bom, messaging, and auth. These three libraries. Also, don't forget to add Google services, which is the most important part. Now let's go to the Gradle file here also, the app level. Let's add the Google service here and scroll down to add the libraries that we need, and these three. Okay, now let's press sync and add the libraries to our project. I'm gonna add the JSON file of the Google service here also. So let's wait for the build to be finished and we are ready to go. Let's go back to the Android preview. Inside the consent file in the util package, make sure that you are using this local URL. This one is the online version on my server, but you want to use this one. Make sure that you're using the same port as your backend is running on. Also, you need to update this URL and add the token parameter to it. So we are uploading token as well as the username here. So the next thing that I'm going to do is that getting rid of this random user ID and add a class that provides a static user ID. So every time we run the application, we won't have a new ID. We simply want a unique ID that persists. So we are going to use shared preference and create a class and add it inside our application. I'm gonna paste it inside the util class and call it UserIDHelper. And all it does is just, gets a user ID function and returns the saved one. If it's the first time, we just want to generate a random user ID and save it inside the shared preference and return the new user ID. Otherwise, we want to return the saved user ID. Simple as that. So let's go inside the simple call application, remove this line, and let's press sync for the project and check where are we getting troubles using this get WebSocket URL, and also the places that we remove this user ID, we want to modify it. Let's wait for the build and soon we will see the errors. So right here inside this one, I'm gonna create a UserIDHelper class, and using the context, I'm gonna call getUserID, simple as that. And the next place is MainViewModel. I'm going to add my UserID here and use this variable instead of. Let's go to the signaling sender class. I'm gonna create the variable again like this and add the application to our constructor. Simply pass it here and here. And the next place is here. We don't have the application. Let's add it again and use this user ID on the missing places. And the last part, let's create this user ID again and pass it here. And for the parameter of our TCP client, we are missing the application. We will pass it inside this parameter. So let's run our application right now and check if we run into the same user ID every time we launch the application. This is the first one. Let's close it, run it again. And yeah, we have a static user ID right here. Okay, that works. Now, the first thing to do is to set up our Firebase inside our application. Let's go inside our simple call application and override the onCreate method. I'm going to use the Firebase app and initialize the app using context, simple as that. Using this line, you will be able to set up the requirements for initializing the application on your main route, which is the simple application class. Now it's time to go back inside my MainViewModel and handle that token, which is right here. So before we connect to the socket client, we need to retrieve our Firebase token. So using Firebase class and get messaging, get token, and addOnCompleteListener, we will have a task. So we check if the task is successful. We want to retrieve token using task.result. Easy like that. Now that we have the token, we want to connect to the socket. But before that, I'm gonna make sure that the token is retrieved fine. So I'm gonna add a delay like half a second, and then using this socket client to connect to my backends. So since this is an important part, let's run our backends. We want to check if we are receiving the Firebase token properly inside our backend. So let's run the application. Okay, the UI shows that we are connected to the application. You can see this user ID has this token to send the notifications. So we successfully received the token from the client. Now we are ready to move to the next step and transfer the signal between two users. Till the next video, see you everyone.